From a poor illegal stowaway to a top soccer star, this soccer movie is a great way to get your blood pumping. Are you at a loss as to where you want to go? Are you complaining that you are forced by the conditions to realize your dream? Today we introduce you to this inspiring movie from 17 years ago. Goal. The story begins with the Santiago family living at the border of Mexico. Although the family is not well off, it does not affect the young boy's love for soccer. One night, Santiago was woken up by his father in his sleep. It turned out that tonight was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and his father's long-planned plan to smuggle the family across the border to the United States. Santiago doesn't know anything. In his panic, the only thing he needed was the soccer that was with him, but it slipped and fell.
Santiago, deja la pelota. Una pelota estúpida, déjala. Vamos. This is the United States Border Patrol.
10 years passed and Santiago grew up to be a handsome young man, but being an illegal immigrant, he couldn't get a proper job. He had to work with his father to mow the lawns of rich people's mansions to support the family, but he did not lose his dream of playing soccer. So when he had time, he would go to the park school to play a game and work part-time in a restaurant to earn some extra money. But his father scoffed at his dream. The most important thing for you now is to make money to support the family. Play a few amateur games and then think of becoming a soccer star. I think you want to eat shit. But Santiago has long been accustomed to his father's cynicism, does not care much. He secretly saved money in the hope that one day can be used. This day a British scout, Glenn, happened to be in the neighborhood on business and inadvertently found Santiago on the field. This visible talent, this skill, this power and excellent sense of the ball, all make him shine, but also has many wild disadvantages. For example, the body is not balanced, the foot lift is not high enough, etc. Anyway, it seems to be the wild way, but it does not affect him far better than the opponent. This kind of player can do great things after professional coaching. It's a waste to play here. Glenn approached Santiago. He made an appointment with him to continue playing here this Saturday. He'll bring his soccer agent with him. If you play well and get picked up by an agent, the possibilities are endless. This is a dream opportunity. Santiago was very happy to be tapped by professionals and to be one step closer to his dream. But then the father of the family threw cold water on him. Let's be honest and mow the lawn. The master's leaks are growing again. Let's save up and buy a new truck so we can take on jobs on our own and become bigger and stronger. Finally came the day of the competition. Santiago tried his best to show himself, but the agent didn't show up at all. Glenn was frantically calling each other while he was in the pool with the beautiful women and didn't take it seriously. And this opportunity may not come again, because Glenn is going back to England, which makes Santiago is extremely sad. Perhaps his father was right. A stowaway gardener trying to become a soccer star is a daydream in itself. But before leaving, Glenn made a phone call to the owner of the Newcastle team in England to get an interview for Santiago. The Newcastle team is a famous old team in England. The father made another taunt. Even his grandmother, who had always supported Santiago's football, was not convinced. We have to fly halfway across the world to England on the word of an Englishman, and we don't even know how it will end. So how can we trust you? But Gran still firmly said that Santiago is a talent. The final result will depend on his own success, and our Santiago is a little opportunity to seize. Ready to go to England to play football. More hard work to earn money. Seeing that the money for airline tickets is almost saved enough. However, his father took away all his savings to buy a new truck, because the purchase of a truck just so close. Father promised that although you only take such a small amount, but in the future to make money shares are half of one person. However, no matter what terms you give, this is not what Santiago wants. The two of them had a big fight. In fact, his father just didn't want him to leave. Since Santiago's mother left home, the family relied on his father to support them, and he did not want Santiago to take risks, to work honestly, to earn money, and to live honestly. This time, the grandmother could not sit still, secretly took out his years of savings to help Santiago buy a ticket, hoping that his grandson can pursue a dream, not to leave a regret in life.
You deserve this chance, Santiago. Take it.
So Santiago embarked on a journey to find his dream. When he arrived in England, he was warmly received by Glenn, and after settling in, he came to Newcastle together for an interview. However, the interview process the next day was a disaster. The interview was supposed to be about football skills, but it was raining that day. Santiago had never played football on a rainy day before, and having just flown halfway across the world, he was still jet-lagged. Plus he was playing against a professional player for the first time. At his age, he had to be under complete psychological pressure and was unable to play at all. The owner of the team directly collapsed. Is this the end of everything? Glenn was reluctant, and found the boss to reason with him to get a month of trial training. After training to make a decision, Santiago finally started his career as a player. He cherished this opportunity and trained very hard every day, and slowly stood out in the training team. That day in the gym, he met the legendary Newcastle star, Alan Shearer. He was taught a good lesson by his predecessor. When
Finish that, son? Yeah.
Alan Shearer moved to Newcastle, he set a world record transfer fee, became the most expensive man in football at that time, and scored 260 goals in the Premier League, becoming the top goal scorer in the history of the Premier League. Unfortunately, he retired in 2006 due to injury, ending his 20-year career. Back to the film story. Santiago then concealed the fact that he had asthma during a medical examination. He feared he would be kicked out of the game if he was exposed, so he had to secretly use a breathing spray to relieve himself. The 1-month tryout was soon over. Santiago's hard work and excellent performance were seen by the boss, and he was brought up to the reserve team to test the results. Before going on the field, Santiago was ready to take a sip of the breathing spray as usual, but his hand slipped and the bottle fell to the ground and was deliberately crushed by the foot of a player who usually disliked him. As an outsider, there is no way to be inferior. Santiago could only reluctantly go on the field. Soon Santiago was running weakly because of breathing problems, and missed the ball frequently, completely slowing down his teammates. The boss and the coach didn't say anything, and replaced him directly. Santiago also knew that being replaced this time would mean leaving forever. After losing his dream once again, Santiago left a letter of apology to Glenn and packed his bag to go back. However, the heavens favored him. Gavin was the team's top player, but his personal life was very promiscuous. There is no woman he can't get, and there is no wine he can't drink, so he is often late because of alcohol and beautiful women. This day he woke up from his girl's bed and really overslept again, but today he is the starting lineup. The last game is missing a starter. You say that the rush is not urgent. Once he left the house, his car was taken off the tires by some local thugs. Hurry up and call a cab.
Paradise taxis.
Yeah, I need one. Urgent. This is Gavin Harris.
And I'm Clint Eastwood. Make my day.
I'm serious. This is me.
Once the caller heard that it was the famous Gavin, he hurriedly arranged for the nearest car to pick him up. It just so happened that the nearest car was the one that carried Santiago. The driver was also a Newcastle fan, so he took Santiago with him to pick him up. Once Gavin got in the car, the driver looked familiar, and when he asked, he understood what happened. Out of sympathy, Gavin took the initiative to plead with his boss, telling the fact that Santiago was suffering from asthma and pleading for a second chance. But he also has his own little plan. I usually pay attention to that boy for a long time. He has a lot of potential. That's why I went to stop him from the airport early this morning. He tricked the boss. Anyway, by coincidence, the boss decided to give Santiago another chance off. After that, through hard work and excellent performance, he became the starter of the reserve team. He was able to sign for the team, and had a sweet relationship with the team nurse. On that day, he joined the official team for the first time as a substitute. It happened that one of his teammates was injured in the confrontation, and Santiago was sent to the field in a crisis. The whole field was surprised at the sudden change of a new face. At that time, his father, who was far away from the United States, saw the game from the bar. He couldn't help but shout to the people around him that this is my son. This is my son. Santiago won a precious penalty for his team with a series of dribbles into the box. Gavin's clinical kick sealed the win at 2 o'clock. Looking at the crowd's excitement, The father realized that his son's dream was real and meaningful, and that he had been completely wrong before. In the evening, to celebrate the victory, Gavin brought Santiago to the party, also met Beckham, Zinedine Zidane, Raul and other top stars. Beckham, needless to say, face and strength, handsome and strong. The performance of the year shocked the world, contributed to countless wonderful moments. Zinedine Zidane is a French soccer legend. Both individual and collective honors have won the Grand Slam, retired and became the manager of Real Madrid, led the team to win 9 trophies, and Raul is the captain of Real Madrid's No.7 team. Once the record holder of the Champions League goals, career 23 trophies, retired still shining, as the manager of Real Madrid's junior team. These words of encouragement from his idol made Santiago even more determined to pursue his dream of playing soccer. However, he got too high. The next day, Santiago appeared in the newspaper and rushed to explain to his little girlfriend, a nurse, "By the way, I learned something. A reserve player of the team was injured and his career was over at a young age, so he could say goodbye to the game." This made him realize that he should cherish the golden period of his career and not to fool around outside, so he trained even harder. However, it didn't take long to receive the sad news that his father had died of a heart attack across the ocean. At the airport, Santiago was thinking a lot. On the one hand, he had to go back to take care of his father, and on the other hand, he had to prepare for the upcoming competition. In the end, he chose to go back to training. Only by fulfilling his dream on the field could he repay those who supported him, and his father must have understood his choice. So Santiago got the chance to start the match against Liverpool and win the match to get the ticket to the European Championship. This is the ultimate goal of the team this season. Success or failure is at stake. The pitch was in a state of flux, and Gavin was the first to score a goal. The crowd was also very enthusiastic. However, Liverpool scored 2 goals in a row with a quick attack, pulling the advantage back to their side instantly. Santiago could not easily find this opportunity. Continuous crosses quickly to tear open the opponent's defense. At this moment, he remembered what the team owner had said to him: "Soccer is a team sport. To pass the ball at the right time." Santiago immediately passed the ball to Gavin, a powerful shot to equalize the score. Gavin was then tangled up by the opponent and was awarded a free kick. Time was running out and the ball was crucial. Gavin gave up the chance to Santiago, giving the youngster the honor. He was not alone in this moment, but was carrying the expectations of the whole city. A deep breath, a simple, uncomplicated kick containing countless hours of training and sweat. The ball was scored, and the audience was boiling. Santiago looked up to the sky, knowing that his dream of playing soccer had officially begun. But there would be more challenges waiting for him in the future. But no matter what, the fact that the once poor boy could come to the public eye and become the new idol of the fans is already a legend in itself. This is the end of the story. I believe that we can all see the shadow of some stars in the protagonist, a commoner, gifted, stumbling on the road of pursuing his dream, and finally become famous. In my opinion, Santiago's prototype should have a part of Ronaldo. Ronaldo grew up in a difficult life. His father was a florist, his mother was a cleaner, and his mother even had the idea of abortion when she was pregnant with Ronaldo. Unlike the protagonist, Ronaldo's father was very supportive of his son's dream of playing soccer. At the age of 13, Ronaldo was selected by a club because of his excellent football skills, but heart problems almost made the superstar become a celebrity. But he overcame all the difficulties with the company of his family. Today, Ronaldo is one of the greatest players on the planet. He has 5 career goals, 4 golden boots, 3 World Football Awards, too many honors to count. Even if you do not watch soccer, you must have heard of him. That's it for today's movie. If you like my movies, please subscribe me. I will upload a soccer movie every day until the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 starts. See you next time.